I got the 2 home run balls I hit in the World Series. Some wretched little shit got the 3rd one.
Welcome to the Black Irish Podcast. Welcome to an all-new episode of the Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike the Man Crawford. What's up, brother?
What's up going on, Brenda? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Well, we need to jump right in because as we were warming up here, just making sure that everything was working, you did not like the fact that I said that I want to swim with sharks.
This is completely foolish. But everyone in the world who listens to us understands that I think it's foolish.
I know that you are terrified of sharks, but why do other people need to be terrified of sharks?
Everyone should be terrified of sharks. You know the rules, man. That's not your world. Where they live,
but some people have sharks
world.
As pets.
Then don't be terrified of those sharks, but stick your hand in there if you want. And if you talking about like real, like live size sharks as pets, nobody has a. It's not a. That's not.
Have you ever
pet.
seen Ace Ventura?
That wasn't a shark anyway. That was a dolphin, dude.
It was a shark. No. You have to communicate with the dolphin. No, it was a shark in the tank at the party.
Oh, yeah, it was a shark in the tank at the party.
Come on, man. That's one of the most classic Ace Ventura scenes ever.
And you know what? No one was loud in that room with the shark. That's not really a pet. A pet is someone you spend time with, you enjoy. How do you enjoy time with the shark? You don't. You just wanted to have a shark because you thought it was cool. That's not a real pet, bro. You don't keep
I like sharks. Shark? I got that shark mentality, dude.
Like them from a distance. You go into their world, whatever happens to you, you deserve. I agree with that. Anybody who disagree, I don't care.
All right.
There you go. And I ain't just talking about sharks. I'm talking about anything that's over 2,000 pounds. All that's out there.
You wouldn't ride an elephant?
Ride an elephant? No.
Bro,
Tigers,
I saw a
lions.
picture on Instagram of a family of elephants sleeping. It was the most adorable thing I've seen in like 2 weeks. And I have children.
It is adorable. Now walk up to him and try to, where his child is, you try to walk towards that way and see what happens to you. Shredded. No more of you. I got a friend that petted a tiger.
Yeah?
He's the dumbest friend I got. I wish I would touch a 2,000-pound animal, bro. And you're telling me, oh, okay, yeah, because I got full control. You got full control over what, a 2,000-pound animal?
No, that's the fun part. But, bro, like hammerhead sharks, like supposedly those things are like puppy dogs.
These animals are built to live a certain way. You never have control over them.
And that's what I'm talking about, by the way, with shark mentality. Not like I'm going in for the kill all the time. Just that I'm never resting. I'm always looking to move. Always moving. Never stagnant. That's shark mentality. It doesn't have to be a bad thing.
A certain way. Okay?
All right. Well, speaking of crazy things.
Go ahead.
I know you're not a big drinker, but
no.
You know at parties or bars, you go hook up with friends you haven't seen in a while, and everybody's like, come on, just one shot. Has anybody ever taken one shot?
No, because at some point, everybody just feels now it's my turn to buy shots. You brought them, so now it's my turn.
Yeah,
now
it's either you aren't doing shots and you just go, no, seriously, I'm not doing it. Or you're like, all right, buckle up, we're doing shots. Nobody ever does one shot.
Except for me. I do one shot.
When?
Anytime I go out and people ask me to, I'll say, okay, I'll give you one shot. That's it.
That's but what if 3 different people ask you?
That's it.
Then you do one shot with each person?
No. I have one shot. I understand that if I take more than one, I ain't getting home safely. So you get one shot.
All right.
No, but that's just, I don't know, but I might have a beer after that. Like I'll drink something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you can hang out and party and just have a beer, but usually if you have a couple of beers and somebody can convince you in an hour to take another shot.
I just know that I ain't getting home safely if that's the case. And I'm usually driving myself. I be out here solo dolo, man.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, and I appreciate the shit out of that because you are very responsible when you drive. I will say that. I wish I could say the same for myself. I can these days, but not so much in the past. But anyway, on that note, I did have a busy, busy weekend, man. We had one hell of a baseball weekend. So we had a whole sports weekend, actually. It started on Saturday morning with my 8-year-old Mickey. He had his soccer game. He played goalie for the first time. Nobody scored on him. He actually had a really cool save, so that was sweet. And then came home. We had to go back for T-ball practice for the 3-year-old at 1, and then back for the 8-year-old's practice at 2. So we did that Saturday, and then Sunday was the biggest day in sports for little kids. It was picture day. And any parent with a child in sports knows that picture day is the most hectic day, especially because we had games afterwards. So we had 9 o'clock 3-year-old T-ball pictures.
Who scheduled that?
The league. 10 o'clock 8-year-old pictures, or 8 to 11, that league. 11 o'clock T-ball game, and then 3:30 big kid game. So we were just non-stop. It
Baseball.
was insane. It was awesome. But so the 3-year-old Connor, getting him ready for picture day, I love this. This kid is just so beautiful. And just the way he is. Because he's like, I'm like, Connor, we have to get you in your baseball stuff. You can't wear the other baseball thing you want. You have to wear this one. We're taking pictures. And he's just like, begrudgingly will stomp his feet. And he's like, fine. But then he complies. Like, he does exactly what he needs to do. But he just, like, yells at me right to my face. Like, I'll do what you want, but I'm not happy about it. And I'm like, you're 3, bro. Why don't you tone it down a little bit? Why don't you get a little less aggressive? But
I want you to know that he didn't want to do it, but he's, saying, like, I'm going to do it, but I don't want to do it.
In his defense, he wasn't listening to me, so what directly preceded that was, Connor, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to pop your balloons. And I popped 2 balloons right in his face. He did not flinch. He's just like, what are you going to do next, Dad? I'm like, okay, I just need you in your baseball stuff for picture day. Fine.
There you go.
I'm like, oh, all right.
Just talk to me, Dad. The balloons don't.
Man. Just trying to communicate with the kids. Which, by the way, like my older son, like, is still working on his L's a little bit, and it's like I don't ever want to put him in like a speech thing or try like force him to work on that because he's so articulate with his thoughts. Like, if you can't pronounce things exactly properly yet, like, it's adorable. You keep going, kid. I don't know. How do you feel about that as a former molder of young minds?
I mean, if it's natural, you just can't pronounce it. Hey, this is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It's something you gotta live with, man. Gotta deal with it. That ain't no big deal. He's gonna be good.
Oh, yeah. He's very good. You know who else is good? The ultimate hustlers. Girl Scouts.
Ultimate hustlers, bro.
Dude! They get you from all angles, man. Cookies, magazines.
They got magazines?
Yeah. Dude, come on, man. They don't even have to go stand anywhere for this now. They just have mom send out an email to everybody. Get your order online. Feel like you're doing something. Come on, man.
And they know your email address, so they go check.
Yeah, it's easy. Boom.
Then they'll
boom,
hit you
boom.
up and be like, "Oh, I ain't seen no email back from you. Can I buy no cookie this year?"
Yeah, but that's the thing is the kids don't even have to do it anymore if they don't want to. But I still see them out there hustling all the time. I'm just saying that they're getting you from angles, and I want to support them, and that's all good. But it's interesting. They're starting to infiltrate the system.
Little girl went viral standing in front of the weed shop selling her cookies. Smart little girl.
That is. What's your favorite kind of cookie?
Mine?
Yeah.
The little mint one, probably, and then the peanut
Thin
butter.
Mints?
It's like and then it's like a peanut butter tag-along thing.
Tag-along.
Those are pretty good. That's it. I'm not a big Girl Scout guy. I just buy them to support the kids.
Yeah. I don't know that I have a favorite. I think tag-alongs are the good ones.
Everybody eats the nasty coconut ones, though.
Oh, the coconut ones are good. I like those.
Oh, you're nasty too, then, buddy.
Hey, why?
You don't get a break because you're my friend. Those things are disgusting.
See, do you hate all coconut though?
Yes.
Okay, well that's why. See, I hate some coconut. Like I hate an Almond Joy. That shit is garbage. Mounds.
Coconut is
suck.
coconut. Mounds have nuts though.
Yeah. Doesn't it have coconut and nuts? Like different kinds?
I don't know.
I don't know either because I don't touch stupid shit.
Never had one of those shits. I ain't going to
man. All right.
To hell with an Almond Joy.
So, I want to ask you something. I've been contemplating something for about 45 minutes now. If you could get a one-time deposit, legit, what would be the number you would feel comfortable with to get a one-time cash deposit and you never could earn any money even if you worked for it for the rest of your life? You just got one check, one time, live off that for the rest of your life. And, by the way, you're just living your life. You don't know when you're going to die or anything like that, so you don't know if you should save it, blow it, nothing. What do you feel comfortable with?
Last one question.
Okay.
You can't earn any money at all.
Nope. Which also means you're free and clear to do whatever you want for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but that also means that you got to keep it all in, like you got to keep it at home in cash.
Well, assume that it's protected. Like, you know, it's diversified but you can't earn interest on it. Or you can just have it in cash and you can Venmo everybody.
It's going to have to be in cash. There's no way you can put the number that I asked for in a bank and it not earn interest. So if technically
what would
I
that
can't
be?
Earn interest, the number would be $1 billion.
Okay.
And then I transfer $500 million to my mom. Because you said I couldn't earn interest. She can.
No, the money can't. The money can't earn interest. The money can't earn interest.
I'm cool with $1 billion. I could live with $1 billion.
$1 billion
Right now for the rest.
That's
of
a
my
good
life.
number.
$1 billion.
What would be your first 3 purchases?
Nothing. I wouldn't purchase nothing.
That's my man. What would you do? What was the first thing you would do? Because you got to do something with $1 billion.
I mean, I'm gonna go give my mom some money, so that she can purchase what she wants.
What's the first fun thing you're gonna do? Come on, man.
I ain't doing. I gotta be because I still.
You're gonna do nothing. You're just gonna
get the. You
sit
said
in the fact that you have money.
Yeah, but you said I don't get to earn money, so
that's
that
correct.
means I'm still gonna have to pay taxes.
You're not gonna go to fucking get your favorite combo meal. Nothing. You're never gonna spend any money.
I'm gonna spend money, but after I figure out what they're gonna take from me. That first year is gonna be a chill year. I might take a couple million.
Here's the other part of it. Since you can't earn any more money and you can't earn interest, nothing like that, your money can't make money. It's also not taxed. This is just your money. How much money do you need for the rest of your life? For how much
well then
cost?
I would go buy everything I know I'm gonna need for the rest of my life.
Which would be?
I need a house, a roof over my head.
Where would you buy a house?
And somewhere that I could live would want to live for the rest of my life. So I would probably buy 2 houses.
Okay.
But they would probably equal 1.5 million, maybe. That's it. Like they're not gonna be anything extravagant.
Yeah.
Because I only have $1 billion for the rest of my life, and I plan to live a long time.
That's
with
right.
$1 billion. Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna buy one in this area somewhere, probably close to Potomac, the Potomac area where the rich people live, but not actually in the Potomac area because I don't really want to be around them bougie people all the time. But like somewhere close.
Yeah, you want to be 10 minutes away.
Yeah, but still Virginia because I love my state and I always want to be here unless I'm forced. But I'm also getting a house in Cali because I love Cali.
Yeah,
I love California.
All right. I like that.
I love California.
All right, so $1 billion.
Yeah, and then the other stuff you need, man.
I think I would. I think I would need 2.
2 what?
billion.
2 billion?
I think that's what I would need. Because I'm way more extravagant than you. Like, I can rein it in when I need to, but I also need to really splurge sometimes.
Well, you also have kids and a wife. And
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but it's all, like, you know, 2 billion, that's like nobody's got to work, nobody's got to do anything.
I have a wife at some point.
Yeah. Why don't we get you on 90 Day Fiancé?
Heck no, man.
No. They'll come to you.
No.
Why? All right, if you were forced to sign up, if you were forced to be on 90 Day Fiancé, what country would you want the chick from? Like Married at First Sight. What country would you meet? Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiancé meet. You have 90 days. They're pairing you up blind, and you have 90 days to figure out if you want to continue the relationship. It's engaged at first sight. How about that? Engaged at first sight.
Let's just say I would never.
Oh, come on, play the game, Mike.
What
country would the chick be from if she had to be from a different country?
No. Asian women are very respectful.
Okay, that's not a country though.
What?
There's different kinds of Asians.
China's a country, right?
Yes, Asia's it's a very large one.
There you go.
Okay. All right. I like that culture. I like that food. Enjoy it. I don't know about the music, though. I don't know the music scene. On the map, man. Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, so then we'll switch. Okay. Would you push the proverbial button?
The proverbial button? Always.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so...
Could be something good on the other side of that button push.
Yeah, but somebody random in the world dies for no reason.
Whoa, I don't know that though.
What? I thought that was the button. What did you think the button was? Your belly button?
I thought the button was $1 million. I'm gonna push this button, $1 million gonna fall out the sky. Like I don't know.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's kind of the thing is you get $1 million, you push this button, and somebody you don't know randomly in the world dies. Will you push that? button?
That's the scenario.
That's the scenario.
Now, when you say random. I couldn't do that.
You'll never know who they are, and they'll never know it was coming. It's just drop dead.
I couldn't do that. That's tempting as hell, though.
I fucking tried to convince myself that I could, and I don't think I could. Even for like a ridiculous, even for the 2 billion, I don't think I could.
I couldn't take someone. There's not an amount of money that can just randomly take somebody's life. Now you say,
all right, what about 50 grand and you get to pick?
50 grand and I get to pick. Sign me up all day. I got a guy.
All right, so what about
for $5 and I got to pick? I got a guy.
All right.
I got one guy.
All right, so what about? All right, what if instead of somebody dies, you have a 1 in 5 chance that your dick falls off?
1 in 5?
Yeah, you got an 80%. It's Russian roulette with your junk. You got an 80%
for 2 billion. I'm pushing the button.
No. 1 million. We're back to the original amount.
For 1 million, no.
All right, for 1 million, how much do you value your junk? What would you be? What would it cost to make Mike a eunuch?
Well, technically, with the right amount of money, I'm not a eunuch because I'm just getting dick surgery and getting a new one, so it don't matter.
Yeah, but it wouldn't work. It'd just be like, you know those suction cup dildos? That's all it would be.
Oh, well then that sucks.
How much would it be to push that button, or would you? You already said 2 billion, so that's the.
If you don't get no real feeling from the replacement, there's no way I'm doing it.
You said 2 billion.
2 billion because I thought I would be able to get it. I'm overthinking it, thinking I'm able to get a replacement. That's why I said 2 billion because I know that's more than enough to get a replacement. But if the replacement comes with no feeling, yeah, kill that.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, you kill that shot.
All right. Do they have adult emergency cards? What
is there an amount of money that can pay you?
I don't know.
To not have feeling in your junk area anymore?
I would have to get an offer and consider it.
$2 billion. If $2 billion ain't enough,
how much longer am I going to use it?
How much longer are you going to use what?
My junk.
What do you mean? How much longer you gonna use it?
I don't know. I mean, I've been alive for a long time. I've used it plenty. It's kind of like, like restoring an old Mustang. It's like, yeah, you used to ride it around. It was nice and fun. But now you just take it out every now and again on the weekends, with the old lady. It's just strolling the park.
I understand that. I feel you. I can concur in a sense. But my God, listen.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to convince myself to do it, okay?
To not have no feeling. No, it's no. The only thing that can convince me is not guaranteed that it's going to be.
Bro, you know how much money you could make by just letting people kick you in the dick? If you had no feeling, you know how much people would pay at a fair to just walk up, drunk people, and just kick you in the dick? Bro, you could make money hand over fist. These people
you
are
don't
paying
need money.
$10.
You have $2 billion. You don't need money. But making money in the long run is not. You don't need that. If you get $2 billion to lose your dick, and have to go to a point where you have to let people kick you in the area where it used to be your dick, your life is all the way fucked up. All the way, buddy. Like, it is all the way fucked up. This is an entire waste of your fucking time. The $2 billion was so to be
Mike, you
would
think
never
the
have
kind
to
of person
experience.
that would accept money to become a eunuch has a brain that works and is firing correctly? No, they're going to be a carny for fun, Mike.
Hey, yo,
That's the business we're in.
Bro, they would be the fucking butt of all jokes.
Oh,
Forever.
they'd be the dick of all jokes. Oh. Do they have adult
Like
emergency cards? Do you know about
Adult?
this? Yeah. Like, do adults have emergency cards? No?
I don't have an emergency card.
But, like, okay. Let's say, like, you don't have
I couldn't
any...
even fill out an emergency card, honestly. I only know, like, one person number by heart.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say you don't have a lot of family, or they live far away, or they just outright suck. And like, you just... If you go to the hospital and you just have close friends, like, you should be able to have, like, a emergency card. Like, these are my contacts. These are my people that I picked. These people are allowed to see me. I trust them in the room with me, Like, you should be able to have that. Right?
Okay.
You don't think so?
They ask you that shit, like, when you go to the hospital and shit.
Yeah, but what if you're not in a place where you can respond?
Oh, sorry, sir. You better have somebody, I don't know.
I don't know. Just families look a lot different these days. And, it doesn't necessarily have to be blood related to be somebody that takes care of you. I don't understand that.
But, I mean, they got to notify somebody, so somebody going to get that call.
Dude, that's like the ultimate T-Mobile top 5. You remember that shit? You were a part of this?
I used to have the sidekick when the T-Mobile top 5.
Oh, shit.
Man.
I don't even think I had 3 people to put in there when that shit came out. I never hung out with anybody. I remember that was like drama.
I would have had plenty.
I remember that was like, if you weren't in somebody's top 5, like, dude, my best friend had a dude that was like a little, over the top with their relationship, and he got butthurt that he wasn't in the top 5. So, my friend had the courtesy, put him in the top 5. He put him in the top 5. He's like, whatever, dude, I don't care. I do talk to him a lot, so who cares? But then what got noticed was, as you would update your top 5, whoever'd been on there the longest moved up in the ranks. So he would notice that he kept getting slipped back to the end because he would just add him if he knew he was hanging out with him. So then he started to get upset with that and had to, like, move up to the front of the line. That's insane shit. That's like girlfriend stuff, right?
No, that's relationship stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever had any friends that were like over the top with the friendship, and you were like, I don't know, man.
No, when you were telling that story, I thought you were talking about a girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, none of my friends. If my friends were that over the top about stuff like that, I would think something was weird.
Yeah. I had a dude I used to work with that I was friends, and we would hang out on the side too. But like, there was a point where he would hand make me sandwiches, like really good sandwiches. I'm like, thanks. He's like, well, what kind of lunch meat do you like? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like salami. I don't know, man. So I was kind of like, that was a little weird. And then that kind of tapered off. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm dieting. even though I'm like chugging beers.
Yo.
I didn't know how to handle that situation.
He wanted to see what you was up to, Brendan.
I guess. I don't know. I could never tell. You could never tell.
I know, man. It's hard.
Oh, man.
People just need to be honest about shit. That's all.
Yeah, so speaking of which, we had some, after our baseball extravaganza for the whole weekend, we have a couple of families who we met through baseball and everything, and I value these people's opinions. We were all sitting down. There were 6 of us at the table, and the topic of, like, unvaccinated nurses came up. And I'm not going to speak to what anybody else said, but, like, kind of my position on that was they're in a weird position where, you know, they were on the front lines when they were needed and they were celebrated then, but now they're being told that if they don't get vaccinated, they can't have their job. How do you feel about that? And that's, you know, without any major details, just kind of the overall topic.
I don't understand. So there's an issue there. So the nurses they don't want to be vaccinated. They want to keep
some nurses don't want to be vaccinated. Same as, you know, police officers, firefighters, and, you know, they're like, hey, I shouldn't have to. I'm risking my life. I shouldn't have to do that if I don't want to.
Understood, but you're also risking other people's life. At the time when you were doing it, there wasn't a vaccination. So there was no vaccination to give you. People, I mean, we have it now, so that changes the dynamic of it all. But if you don't want to do it, that's cool. Just quit your job. Just like Andrew Wiggins didn't want to do it, but for $20 million, he said, these were the words out of his mouth, so everyone don't think I'm just making this up. I'm going to go ahead and provide my family with generational wealth over not getting the vaccine. I just can't go home because nobody in my family believes in getting the vaccine. So that's cool. But your kids ain't going to never want for nothing ever again in life. And he would start talking about how he got 2 kids and want to have a 3rd one. And you know what? Sometimes you ain't got to make a decision, but you got to make a decision.
Yeah.
And I know I'm laughing, but I mean, that's half of us in America, though. It's going to come down to feeding your family or saying a lot of us don't want to get this vaccination because we don't trust it. We don't believe whatever your reason for not wanting to get it. I understand. I respect it. But if your job tells you get it or quit, and you got 2 kids at home, a rent to pay, that it's not in an ultimatum state because you have an option. It's just about the consequences from the options you choose.
That's right.
Therein lies the problem.
Because it is a career choice.
That's it.
That's what it is.
And that's up to your job to make those decisions. And that's coming from people who make millions to people who make $15 an hour. So at the end of the day, you're going to make a decision. Because at the end of the day, everybody's job pays their bills. Whatever your job may be, it pays your bills. Whatever that job may be, you're a business owner, whatever you may do, you work to get money unless you're some person who got left a lot of money. Then the person who gave you that money worked to get that money. So whatever the case may be, money comes from working. Like nobody just ain't giving you nothing in this world.
That's what's
so
up.
You can choose. You're going to work. And with work comes a shot. And if you choose you don't want to work, then please find another way to provide for your family without a shot. For women, they got it a little bit easier because at the end of the day, they always got a money maker.
Way to bring it on home, Mike.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Bro.
Oh, man. Well,
I'm just saying, man, technically speaking, might be a little bit hard out here for y'all dudes that don't want to get those shots, a.k.a. Andrew Wiggins. Kyrie's still standing on his, though. He ain't gonna get it. And it's not even a New Jersey thing. It's just a arena thing, which is weird to make a rule like that, knowing one of your dudes that you pay $40 million. On the other side, you think they thought about Kyrie when they made the rule? They're just like, nah.
They might have made it because of him. They might have been like, hey, he's going to sit out and he won't play. That's the way we don't have to pay him. We'll bring somebody else in. Then we don't have to deal with his antics, even though, I think they're worth it.
Well, they don't get to cut him. They can't. They just won't. Yeah, they can't pay him for home games. and he doesn't get to pay when they go to Golden State. Everybody else, nobody, no other arena. There's only 2 arenas in the whole league that have this vaccination policy. No other arena has the policy.
You don't think more are going to jump on board?
No, they would have done it already by now. Hey, what are you going to jump on board and do it now? There's no need now. There's no need.
Yeah, I guess that's true. If everybody's just accepted the fact that, like, hey, I'm deciding to go to this event.
But this is not just a team thing. Everybody that comes in their bill, which means that they're checking vaccine cards for every game.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not vaccinated, you can't go to the game.
Right.
And that's why other arenas didn't do it, because who's trying to stop their money from the game because of a vaccination? Wear your mask, keep your mandates like every other building in this world. But you think I'm going to stop my pay? How many people that don't want to get vaccinated in your city? You better hope you got people to fill those seats. There's a lot of people in this world that don't want to get this vaccination, my friend. Sorry to say.
Dude, they're going to do it at Jaguar Stadium.
What? No vaccination, you can't get in?
Yeah.
Oh, everything here is...
I'm kidding, DC. Dude. It's Florida. They're like, please bring a gun into the stadium. They don't give a fuck.
Everything here is that way. You can't even go to concerts in D.C. You can't go to concerts, comedy shows. You can't do none of that without a vaccination here.
Yeah, there's a lot of the local spots here in L.A. that are, you have to show your vaccination card, but there's other, other places where you don't.
And supposedly the new iPhone update is going to let you update it. I mean, add it to your wallet.
I already have it in my wallet. I've had it in my wallet.
In your iPhone wallet?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was sent to me. I didn't even ask for it. It was like as soon as it was confirmed through the system or whatever, like it showed up and it was like, push this button to download it. And I downloaded it through a text or an email and it was right there.
Yeah. I got to download one. My job's making me get it.
Look at you, bro.
But that's not get it. I'm not lying to you. I'm too scared how it's going to affect me because I got asthma and shit.
Yeah, you tend to, when you get sick, you tend to get real sick. So I could see why you would be a little nervous about that.
Yeah, but I'm just like everybody else. I got bills to pay too, bro.
Yeah, so speaking of big bills, there was a COVID relief fund that went through Alabama. And guess what they decided to do with $400 million of it? Build 3 new prisons and renovate 1 old one. They're putting together a $1.3 billion construction plan to build 3 new prisons and renovate 1 new one. And just to put that into perspective, I'm pretty sure concrete and metal is mostly what make up prisons. And the Atlanta Falcons built out their stadium, 3-4 years ago, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
That cost $1.5 billion, and that's a state-of-the-art stadium. So I wonder, I think the $400 million in COVID relief funds may not be applied to those construction plans at all, and that's just a arbitrary number they threw out. How do you feel about that, Mike? Do you feel like those numbers are inflated a little bit?
Sounds a little inflated, and it sounds like some people's pockets is getting inflated. You don't even need that much money to. What are you about to hook they're in jail. So
exactly. What are the amenities that you're going to start providing for them? Wi-Fi? Like, what the fuck?
No, like, are they getting queen size pillow tops? Like, are we? What?
Everybody gets Uggs for the winter.
No, I'm saying, like, what possibly could you be using this money to do to put in the prison? Unless you got like some bad, upgrade the food, maybe. I mean, they deserve to be treated like humans. I get it. I respect that. But like, they are in jail.
So this is only for construction. Only for construction.
But you gotta realize they got like computers and stuff from jail now. Like they got, matter of fact, they got access to a lot more stuff than me. I know people in jail doing like 20 years. They got Facebook, Instagram, and they on there more than me, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I mean, this is real people I know, not to associate myself with criminals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, this is my real life.
Oh, yeah.
And I know people that do a lot of time in jail, and they be on Instagram and Facebook.
I've got friends that send out updates on how many burpees they did today. I know what the game is.
So I'm like, bro, like, they do need some state-of-the-art stuff, so maybe it is going to them. But there's a whole bunch of people getting paid underneath, like the wardens in all these prisons probably got some like $100 million. Like,
but explain to me how like, are they building new prisons that are socially distanced to protect the inmates? Because if that's the case, then maybe I need to do a little more digging on my research, and I'm speaking out of turn here. But from the glancing that I read over a couple different articles, it didn't seem like that was at the forefront of their mission here. So I just thought it was very interesting. And, like, it was a bill that passed. Like, who can stop this? Because it's not something that was voted on. It was by the people. It was voted on by the government officials only.
Oh, they do what they want in Alabama. Like, there's a lot of wild stuff.
Crazy, dude.
In Alabama. Yeah, they were the first people that did like this abortion stuff too. Like, Alabama's a wild place.
Listen,
a wild place.
I 100% believe in a woman's right to choose. Okay, blowjobs or anal, they get to choose. You got to do one or the other, right? Right? That's what you look for in a, like, as a man, I just need more than one option. 2 is fine. That's more than 1. That's double the amount of options I had previously. It doesn't have to be 3, but if it is, the more the merrier, you know? I don't know.
Bro, they're going to kick us off for that.
No, they're not. But come on. Tell the truth.
What?
Any chick that you've been with, they usually do one or the other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the difference between casual sex and being in a relationship. You give more. You give the trusting places of your body to somebody else. Right?
You got it, buddy.
I don't know. All right, fine. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the MLB playoffs and how the Dodgers are going to shoot their wad and get crushed on Wednesday. Or this is going to be retroactive because we're recording before both the wild card games. So... hopefully the Dodgers are out by now.
You think? You really think that? Or you just don't want to face them? Because the 7-game series, you know you don't win, right?
No.
You think you got a chance?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely think we do. Yeah, I do.
You do?
Because the Giants are grinders. And the Dodgers are big pop team. They get big plays. They're exciting.
But in a 7-game series... they get to pick their pitching. See,
which also means we get Kershaw twice.
No, you don't get Kershaw at all because Kershaw's out.
Once.
So you're gonna get Scherzer twice and
Buehler
twice.
Maybe 3 times.
No, they're like yikes. Yeah. Like, I don't know anybody who wants to face that madman when he's like angry and on point.
I agree that he's a maniac and he's a dynamo on the mound, but he is beatable.
But they also have Buehler and your boy, what's the Ryu? Like, their pitching staff is. And everybody got lucky because the other dude beats on women. No, that's not a joke. That's really serious. I hate to see what he's going through. I'm not making fun of that. But I'm just saying, like, if he was there.
Yeah, that would be the unstoppable force. But it's not now.
Yeah, man. He needs to go to jail, actually. But that's here nor there. That's not my business. Ooh. Put your hand on a woman, you need to go to jail.
That's a hot take.
It is. It's not really that hot take, though.
No, not that hot take, but the story in itself, as it unravels, you know, there's weird...
If he didn't do it, now let me also say, if he's exonerated, let me jump on. You're right. Let me not jump all the way off that bridge, which is why my initial comment also said if. But I'm just going to be more clear on it because if he didn't do it, he needs to be exonerated. But he can't. That's the suck thing for men. And then I'm going to flip all the way to the other side of this. The suck thing for men is you don't get your life back. It's sorry to say, like, you're scarred with that. Even if you're exonerated, you're still scarred with that. The guy who was from, I hate to bring this up, kind of off topic, guy from Baylor a couple years back, defensive lineman, was projected to go high in the draft, had this happen to him. Did a couple years for it. This he came out, told the truth. Never happened.
Oh,
they let him out of jail.
I remember that.
But his life's over. His life's over at that point. Like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, you let me out of jail after making me do 2 years, even though I sat here and told you the whole time I did not do it. And now his life's over. And so with knowing that story, let me come back and jumping all over Bauer so hardly because I'm going to chill until they get some findings. But if you do hit a woman, you deserve to. I ain't gonna say you deserve to do life in jail, but you deserve to sit down and think about because a woman, like, She's a woman.
Yeah, you deserve to go be in jail long enough to get your ass beat when you get in there for hitting a woman and think about it and then come out and not do it again. I agree with that sentiment.
The only person I've ever gave a pass for hitting a woman, no offense, and this is going to sound so wrong, was Joe Mixon, bro. And I know that sounds so wrong, but I don't know. Like that spitting thing rubs me a different way. So I'm not saying he deserves a pass, but when I saw it first take, like the first time I ever saw the video, I was like, what did he do wrong? And then Oklahoma gave him a pass, so I'm not by myself. The police literally let him off and asked him did he want to press charges on her. So even though he hit a woman and with open hand, no excuse. But like spitting, please don't go around spitting on people not expecting to get some type of consequences. And that goes for man, woman, or child. Spit is a different type of nasty.
That is true.
Okay. Now,
well, not to drag more people through the mud, but a little bit dragging people through the mud. Not to get into the details, but I did kind of was thinking about Urban Meyer's got some shit going on right now. And
I read bro.
So you tell me, because all I know is that he's in some shit and it sounds like infidelity. That's all I know.
So there's no real proof of infidelity, but you know once these stories get legs, people are going to research. So we'll see what comes in the coming days.
But is that what's alleged?
It was just that it's a bad look. So they're letting them kind of off the hook now with the response. So what happened was, they had the Thursday night game and they played Cincinnati. He's from Ohio. Mm-hmm. He says he stayed behind. So he didn't catch the team jet home. Stayed behind to visit grandkids.
No, don't drag them into this shit.
While visiting grandkids, some people from the city hit him up, asked him to go out to the bar. So he's at the bar and they got video of him freak dancing with some girl.
Bro.
Some girls dancing up on him at the bar at the club. He's like, yo, I shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Like, he's looking for that kind of trouble if he's answering random fucking social media requests. That's bullshit.
Well, he said there's some people he know. He is from Ohio.
But he knew what he was getting himself into.
You in public, you're Urban Meyer. Come on, man. Like, people going to know. He thought, people saw us there and noticed me and they started dancing. Bro, that's a little sketchy. That's a little iffy. And if you let her dance all up on you like that, did you take her to the telly? That's the next question. I'm telling you, if TMZ finds any video of you taking her to the telly, bro, it's over. It's over for you.
All right. Well,
you're married with children, bro. It's over for you. Anyway, go ahead.
But all right. So let me ask you this though. Urban Meyer is a very smart dude. Do you think that there's any way that he just thought that he got in over his head? This team sucks. Even though he got his quarterback, it's not going to work out. So what's the best way to get fired? A scandal. Okay, what's the least type of scandal you can do? I'm not cheating on my wife, but I'm grinding up on this chick. I'm partying. Okay, let me take a step back. Let me go out of the limelight for a little while. Let me take 5 years off, get this ticker okay, work with my family. Let me come back to OSU and then get back in the college game where I belong. I mean, it's like the perfect Tiger. He parlayed Tiger Woods with George Costanza. It's fucking brilliant if that was his move.
Think about it is that wouldn't be the job he'd be coming back from. He can't take the job that he wants with infidelity scandal on his name because he would want the Golden Domers job. And you can't go to be the Golden Domers coach with infidelity on you. After the Robert with the guy when they hired the coach without doing a full background check. Like you can't Golden Domers can't have any sketchy dudes coming in there. So
yeah, they have to tighten up their staff begrudgingly.
Yeah, and he literally has write-outs in his contracts everywhere he go for Notre Dame. So that would be the job he would be doing that for, and it can't be an infidelity scheme.
But I was saying OSU just to get back into the college zeitgeist, and then win a title at OSU. Everybody forgets about everything, and then you maneuver where you really want to go. I don't know. Or he's just an asshole.
I think he's 2 years away from. I think he was drunk and then paid attention to the fact that the girl was going. I don't think he's a cheat. Like, let's clear that up. I mean, it would be a bad time to cheat if you got a bad ticker, buddy. Like, it's not a good time to be out here cheating with someone that was taking care of you through a bad ticker and brain issues. Like, you need to chill, buddy.
Well, the other thing that's kind of crazy to me too is like, even though it's in the same sport of football, like head coaches are held so much more accountable than the players, and I understand that they're the leaders and they're to set an example, but they're also in a culture of maniacs where these athletes are told to put it all out on the field, and as long as you leave it all out on the field, we'll forgive you for all your other shit. So why can't we hold coaches to that same standard? They have to manage these savages.
For that reason, you're explaining the exact reason why they have to hold them to that standard. Because if you do it, then
you're giving them the green light.
Them has no chance. Because
I'm just saying, I can understand how you could slip into that culture a little bit. Is you're like, fuck, man, why am like you can when you get little.
I mean, I guess you're technically because this is his first year around that behavior. Because at first he was molding young minds, so there's no way he could have been on that type of time. Like,
right.
You're married with kids, but then he also hired the dude who was doing wild shit, and he did that twice. He did it at OASU, and he did it for the Jags. You know what I'm saying? So, well, everybody, you're pretty sketchy. And he also coached Hernandez. Like, so let's not act like everybody's like straight edge here. Like, he's always tippy-toeing around danger zone.
Yeah,
because they know he did 3 years of Eric Hernandez and didn't know he was a quick. Loose cannon and Percy Harvin. Oh, you had some sketchy ones in your day, Urban. So
yeah,
we ain't gonna give you no full pass. You know what's going on out here, buddy.
100%, dude.
I mean, like you put yourself around a few sketch meisters, my guy. We ain't gonna just like you ain't getting no pass in all of this, but Khan's gotta like give him a semi pass until he fire him. But I think he's fired in the offseason. I think he's getting through 1 year. He's through 1 year. And I think he's gonna get away with a clean, like he's not even gonna be it's not even gonna be looked at as a bad thing. I think they're gonna find for a mixture of this situation and bad record. People are gonna be like, oh, it's his first year. He's gonna fall into some good job in college.
Yeah.
I'll take Miami. Come on.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so on to more fun topics.
There you go.
I was at SoFi Stadium last night, Monday Night Football. Do you know what the fuck SoFi is?
Yes, I know.
What is it?
It's a company.
Yeah, but what do they do?
Like solar or some shit. Like,
see, you don't even know.
It's like one of those tech companies, man.
Yeah, but that's kind of my point. Is I went to this $5.5 billion stadium and don't even know what the fuck the people that sponsor it do.
Oh, they ain't important. It's just a name on the outside of the stadium.
I guess, man. I mean, it's a beautiful stadium. Absolutely beautiful, dude. Really, really cool. Got to see Monday Night Football.
You got to see a future Hall of Fame quarterback, according to the announcers.
Oh, was that what they were saying about Derek Carr?
No. Definitely not. This dude's in his second year, and they're predicting him going to the Hall of Fame, bro.
Why? Because he could throw a 4-yard out to Jared Cook? That's all he was doing.
Because he has the ability to throw a 4-yard out. His passes from hash to the opposite out, he gets it there. His freaking arm is amazing. I can't.
Dude,
Justin Herbert has an amazing arm, but he had an amazing arm at Oregon, and y'all didn't even pick him as the top quarterback of this draft. So let's chill with the Hall of Fame shit.
Yeah, no, just because he has a stature and all that kind of bullshit doesn't immediately just shoehorn him in there. But yeah, I agree that, he does have potential. There are certain guys that come out and you're like, yeah, there's no chance. But I don't know. We'll see.
I want to see big moment adversity. I don't know if he's able to be a leader of men. That's the last test. All physical attributes, he owns every physical attribute. He can do everything he needs to do to be a very good quarterback.
So how do you feel about Trey Lance starting this week?
I feel bad for the 49ers. You know who I'm picking, whoever they're playing, because he's not ready.
Yeah, they're like, head coach Kyle Shanahan says that Jimmy Garoppolo is, they're day-to-day on his calf injury, not sure about. It's like, all right, bro, just say that Trey Lance is starting. Like, we get it.
No. I saw a report today that Jimmy's going to try to play, but that's because they need him to play. Trey Lance is not ready.
No, he's not.
I watched the second half of that game. He's not ready to be an NFL quarterback. He doesn't progress through reads well enough to be an NFL quarterback. He's going to run, and he's going to run himself into an injury. he's not a progression. And everybody say, oh, he had this pro offense at South Dakota. Yes, that mostly ran a 2-receiver. It was a 2-receiver, 2-back, like 2 tight end. All like it was literally off. Like it was.
So he had the same read on both sides of the field. He just needed to pick which side.
Reads because this, what he's running, and you're a lot better than everybody you're playing against. So what happens when that doesn't work out? You take off running and you bulldoze people, and so what? That's why you don't throw That's why you didn't throw interceptions your entire college career, because you didn't have a lot of options. Most of the time, it was 2 routes. Top, it was 3. You would get max protect at North Dakota State. It's a D2 school. And then it was same thing with Carson Wentz. They did because they've been running the same offense for 1,000 years. So everybody who comes to North Dakota State, you say, they've been running the pro offense. This 2-back, 2 pro offenses. When you get to the NFL, they open it up. They got 3 receivers. West Coast, you got people flying here. Listen,
they're running the offense from the original Lombardi days.
Running the Cowboys offense to win Super Bowls in '92. It is 2021. That is not getting it done out here. You want to know the first North Dakota State quarterback to make it? Joe Flacco. And guess what? Carson Wentz ran the same offense and Trey Lance ran the same offense. Why the hell are they running the same offense as Joe Flacco, who made it to the NFL? You know why? Because they don't care about producing NFL talent. They're trying to win games as North Dakota State, bro.
Yeah.
Which is why Carson Wentz is a fucking failure too.
Yeah, he is. But he's on my fantasy football team, so
yeah. I have no faith in, and if he turns out to be, and only faith I have in the fact that Trey Lance could be good down the road, because he has Shanahan. Shanahan's a fucking guru.
Yeah, he is the man. I mean, when you learn under one of the best, that's and he has the inside tips.
So he might be able to run you all to a W this weekend without making that man pass the ball.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't know. Did you see that NFL Top Shot came out? Or is coming out? I fucking told you, dude. I told you. This one's going to be the one that you need to jump on.
But you saw this coming a mile away.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you to jump on it when it first comes out, because that's going to be all the shit that's going to be valuable in week 12. When people are getting excited about the playoffs and starting to build their stack and they coming out with all this new shit. That's going to be where it's at. So just a heads up to anybody that gives a shit. I'm not trying to run the world. Just take a piece of it. All right. So I did have something, you had a fantasy football loss this past week.
What am I, 1-3 now?
You're hanging out in the cellar once again.
I think it's all good, man. It's all good, buddy.
Well, here's what I've come to. How you doing in your other league?
I'm first place in one, second place in another, bro. So,
and
I'm about in this league. I'm in 8th place. So
first of all, there's no chance you win this league. So just stop it.
There's no chance I win this league.
No, you're all fucked in the head. Is not yours. I don't know whose it is. It's just definitely not yours.
Bro, you're high, bro. I'm 1-3, but I'm not like far.
No.
I'm not losing. I'm not far off, yo. Like a tweak here and there, and it's over for you.
Here's what I realized, though. We've had, through the years, we've cycled through a couple of different people. People have come and gone just based on their interest level or, their amount of time they're able to commit to it. But we've got a good set stack, and we've always had consistent 6 or 7 people, and then, 2 or 3 get switched out. But we've got a consistent 10 now. And, bro, this league is just producing killers. Because, like, in your other leagues, you're first and second. In my other league, I'm first. In Dallas's other league, she's first. In my dad's other league, in the Maestro's other leagues, he said he was at the top of his game. Like, this league is full of killers. So you don't need to feel bad about being in the cellar, Mike. Okay?
No, I'm going to come out the cellar. But the different thing about you have to have a different mindset for this league because there's no flexes. And everybody is taken because we have so many positional players. So there's a requirement. Like we're using 7 positional players. So it's like there's nobody on the waiver wire. So you have to
and 2 quarterbacks with 10 people.
The quarterback isn't broke because that's 20 quarterbacks. So it leaves you with 12 extra. So you can maneuver that. It's the positional player because like if you don't got like a top running back, you done. But I think I found somebody.
But see, by the way, I'm fucking mad at you for Josh Gordon. Because I picked him up and then I was like, damn it, I need somebody else this week, and I dropped him, and then you swooped him.
And he should be playing this week. But I need to find me a still running back, but I think I found one because I think Gordon got hurt the other day. So I think Williams is gonna be full time. And my guy in New Jersey and my guy for the Jets is starting to be full time.
All right.
Fowler's getting his carries every week. He still has 60 yards this week, even though Zeke had. I just need him to break one of those for a touchdown, and we're in the money. My receivers are coming on. Dirty McLaurin and Corey Davis. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna manage this. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right as the season progresses.
All right.
Well,
that did get me. So I did get thinking though. You know, they have these giant fantasy football like tournaments and shit. Like you go to Vegas, do the draft, and it's like, you know, like the entry fees are, you know, $1,000, but you win, you know, 10 grand or 15 grand if you win the league or whatever. Don't you think that if we like came up with a couple of different pairings, like if you and I went there and had a team, or like something, like if we put our minds together and drafted a team together, like we would be unstoppable, right?
I mean, you would like to think that, right? 2 minds.
I would love to think that. That's why I'm asking.
What? How much you say that shit costs?
There's all different ones, or even add in a third one, like bring the maestro in, because he's kind of steady Eddie. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always, even though I think he's having a shit year this year, but you know, like we could form a couple of teams.
You get lucky. Like quarterbacks are quarterbacks. You get lucky on these positional draftees. Like the guy who picked up Cordarrelle Patterson. Like, come on, you didn't know that was happening. You got lucky. It was your week on the waiver wire, and you got Cordarrelle Patterson.
I think that was Drippy Dick, wasn't it? The guy you were playing?
Yeah, and he produces every week now. Fucking 20s and 30s. Fucking Cordarrelle Patterson.
He's just taking all the points he was supposed to get over the years and getting them all this year, apparently.
Yeah, man. Like I saw him moss somebody the other day. Oh my goodness. I'm like, bro, I thought this dude was done. Like I thought he was out the league. And next thing you know, he played running back for the Falcons. Backup receiver, because Stephon Diggs isn't that great. Sanders is getting most of the points right now. So
yeah, it's wild out there. Oh shit. I don't want to forget this. You asked me before and I almost skipped over. It's worth going back for. So at the Monday Night Football game, you asked me if there were any celebrities there. So basically, and by the way, Jaleel White was the biggest celebrity there. So
no, he wasn't. I saw some bigger.
No, Rebecca Romaine was there. But that was what was hilarious, is they went to the box and there's Rebecca Romaine and they put her name up and everybody cheers, and there's Jerry Connell and everybody cheers. And right next to him is Lance Bass, and they don't put his name up or acknowledge him at all. They just but they held the camera on like the three of them for a while, never acknowledged him, and then just moved on. That's fucked up, dude.
Because his name was associated with the circle. They can't associate. He's not a celebrity anymore. But
the other thing is, later in the game, they played Bye 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 and went back to him. That's fucked up. Now you acknowledge him? Oh,
now you.
That's brutal, dude. He's like, yep. He like to the point where he pulled his cap down over his face. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I felt bad for him.
So fucked up.
Oh man.
Like being a celebrity and losing your celebrity.
Yeah. Have you started BMF?
No.
Are you gonna wait for another couple episodes?
Yeah.
How many do you usually wait for in a series? Or do you wait for the whole thing?
It all depends on the series. Sometimes I wait for the whole thing.
Like BMF. They're like 50-minute episodes. How long are you gonna wait? I think there's like 8 or 10 episodes.
I'm probably gonna wait till like 5 because I know I'm not gonna sit and watch 5 in one setting.
Like a little, like halfway or a little over halfway is where you feel comfortable diving in.
Yeah.
Because then by the time you catch up, you're about caught up with real time.
Yeah, about 10 episodes. So yeah, that's about.
It's fucking awesome, dude. It's a very entertaining show. I love it.
What's so entertaining about it so far? It still be early, right?
It's the character dynamics and, you know, just the very strong mentality of doing what you know is right, even if you're doing bad shit, like just like it's very interesting. Like I just like the interactions, and it's a fucking great story, dude, about hustling, man.
No, I didn't say that. I wasn't saying it like that, but it's more so it's early in the Shark Tank.
No, I know, and that's what I'm saying is like usually I give everything 3 episodes if I'm really gonna give it, because I'm like, okay, they got to introduce characters in the first 1 to 1.5 episodes. They got to tell me why I got to care about them interacting. And then, you know, by the end of the second episode, and then the third episode is the big payoff. What's this season going to be about? And if I don't get it by the third episode, I'm like, well, I don't need to know what it's going to be about because I'm not watching the first season to get to a second season. That's not the kind of shows I watch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but like it pulled me in right away. So I like that. So on that same motto, I gave Heels 3 episodes. And now I'm all the way caught up and can't wait for the season finale. It's fucking awesome, dude. It's really, really well done. You're not gonna even give it a shout out or nothing.
I might have to watch it if you're that into it.
It's one of those things where it's like I think it's based in Georgia, so it's like a Georgia based, you know, small town wrestling fucking gig or whatever, where they can't pay the wrestlers. It's just they're in it for the love of the game. Hopefully maybe one day they'll make it to the show or whatever, you know. And it's just kind of like, I will have to say though, it's fucking heavy. There's suicide in it. Just a heads up, because a lot of people like fucking like, I think they should have that on, like in the title, like that movie that's out right now, like the Evan Almighty story, a trial of suicide or some weird shit. There's some movie out right now that I went to take my wife out to date night, and I was like, oh, it's the guy from Pitch Perfect. It's kind of a musical. It won Tony Awards for being on Broadway. Let's go to that one. And then like within the first 30 minutes, there's suicide. I'm like, this is not a fun date night. Why don't you put that in the fucking title, bro?
Yeah,
like give somebody a warning. Like we just walked out and it was like, the movie was interesting, but it's like, this is not the mood we want, you know?
Not on date night.
No. And as the man, that's my responsibility. Like I think that's where chivalry and feminism can meet up in harmony. And, you know, we don't have to struggle with this on dates. It's like, listen, we can split the check, but I'll take on the responsibility of picking the songs, picking the playlist in the car, picking you up, picking the locations, picking the activities. That's my responsibility to set the mood and let it happen organically. As far as the money goes, you work your ass off, I work my ass off. Let's split the bill, go Dutch, and go have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could be happy.
And you know it, clap your hands.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Update. We still have no fucking clue where this guy is.
Anyway, but the Heels show it's really good, and it's one of those things where I was waiting. The writing seems to be really good on the Stars shows for some reason that I've kind of popped into. So this is like a whole brand new arena that I get to dive into a bunch of old shows that have been on Stars, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is proven to be good. I know the writing on the new stuff is good. So if it's the same writers and they just keep them, you know, the same producers and stuff, I'm excited for it. Because it's kind of like as the story it builds, the writing arc builds, that's the characters in the story, their character arcs build with the story, with the writing. So it's just the flow of it's really well done. That's why I really appreciate about the show. Some of the characters, some of the plot twists and stuff, it's like, yeah, okay. But, you know, the writing is really well done, and it seems to flow well with the show. So that's what I'm really into about that one.
That's what's up, man. But watch how much suicide you watch.
Yeah, so that's I'm gonna take a break after this one. It's not like prominent in the show, but it's definitely has its references throughout the season. So just I like to give that warning because that's a pretty heavy thing to jump into unexpectedly, you know?
That is.
I could ruin your fucking day.
Ruin your day.
You know what will not ruin your day, Mike? The playlist of the week. Switching it up this week. So doing something a little different. I'm going to put 2 of my favorite albums together. So this week it's going to be An Out Come the Wolves by Rancid and The Score, Fugees. I'm going to mix those up and keep it simple. Keep it simple but good.
That's a nice one. And Fuji's went on tour this week, I believe.
I know. They're going to be in LA at the Forum November 12th. I'm considering trying to figure out a way to go. But we shall see. It's the 25th anniversary of the score, so it seemed apropos.
Should be fun.
It should be fun. And we're going to keep having fun. So make sure to follow us on Instagram at Black Irish Pod. Mike is at Black Irish 213. I'm at Brendalis7. Follow us on YouTube. We're just going to be fucking around. Make sure you share. Give people a laugh. Give people something to think about. You know, we're just coming here to entertain any which way we can.
And it costs you nothing.
That's right. And we're never going to charge you for it either. So help us help you.
There you go, man.
All right. Well, on that note, love y'all. Love you the most, Mike. Go Cardinals.